is a common theme because everyone knows Robo Battles, even if they don't know it. Close to an evil laugh. That's how we start.
Alrighty. So, as we've been discussing informally on the side here, so this is Custom Robo, aka Custom Robo Battle Revolution. It is, we call it Custom Robo on account of the fact that this was the first game that was released in this series in North America. It is actually the fourth game in the series in Japan. The first three being Custom Robo for the N64, Custom Robo V2 for the N64, Custom Robo GX, which
we don't really talk about,
which is on the Game Boy Advance. Hardware limitations kind of make it not a very fun game. Custom Robo Battle Revolution, which is number 4, came out in North America as just Custom Robo, and then Custom Robo Arena for the DS, which did come out in Europe and was kind of the only one of the series. It's a Nintendo-published second-party developer. Noise, I believe, is the name of the developer.
Yes. Which is apt. This game is very loud as well sometimes.
Yep. Alrighty.
So yeah, we're starting the days. So we're getting our father. Our father's giving us a watch story-wise and taking the only car in existence to drive away.
Yep. So there's a lot of weirdness and quirkiness to the world of this game. Everybody lives in a giant dome. And we're getting our like RPG protagonist backstory of our father went off to go do some hidden secret mission, and in the years since he passed away, and now we, our protagonists here, need to get a job.
As the father's wishes, if he wants to keep the money coming to us. So okay,
and so that's how. So we decide that we're going to become a bounty hunter, which in this world basically means we do all the crap work that the police don't do, despite the fact that we are generally more competent than the police in this world.
Yeah. Also, that bandana is a Japanese exclusive thing. It has been removed from the North American version, and I'm sad because of it.
There's so many quirks to this game's Japanese version over the English version. Anyway, so this guy here owns this bounty hunting company called Steel Hearts. His name's Ernest. He is the best character in this game, almost unilaterally. Like, just straight. I love Ernest. He has such great emotion, portraits, and so he tells us to buzz off because we don't have a Robo. But in the middle of this, he gets a call from this girl that he really likes, who is the lab director at Robo Labs that we were headed to now, saying that there's been a break-in and that she could use a favor because the cops here are struggling to deal with these burglars.
Yep. And here is kind of the tutorial of the game, and also the main theme of the game is this game would be a very, very quick run if you can somehow skip the text boxes, which we can't do. And also, at the end of this day, just in case we forget to point it out, you always have to talk to everyone in the room before leaving, which is another common trait for every single day in Custom Robo, and it is very annoying. But we will be getting our... Well, technically we were brought here to try to be scared off from becoming a bounty hunter, and by some happenstance, we will be claiming the thing they're trying to steal and registering it via our eyeballs to, well, fight crime with, and then we'll basically save the day. This game is very weird.
Yes, this game. Yeah, I think of it kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, where everything is solved via whatever the gimmick is. People do Robo tournaments as like recreation. Criminals use Robos to like do crime. Anyways, so this blonde-haired man, his name's Harry. He gets into a fight with one of the burglars. We distract him asking a question. He gets staggered back, drops that causes the RoboCube to fall. We register it with the eye scan, and then now it is ours forever. And this is going to be the model Ray.
Ooh, that's a bad roll.
Yeah, that is a very unfortunate roll.
So just to explain what happened there.
It's not too bad.
It's not bad, but he initially he rolled it over to 6. So the way it works is in the little cube launcher, it's like a D6 or like a standard die. It snaps over to the number on the opposite side of the die, so 3 to 4, 2 to 5, 1 to 6. They always add up to 7. And you can know that that's a very clean fight. That was before
that was
4-minute mark.
that was about as good as that fight can
We'll
go.
explain how the battles work in a second, but
There will be a lot of Robo battles for that. Trust us.
there's the cube launcher itself is the biggest source of RNG, and you have to hopefully launch with a better lower number than your opponent without rolling over, or else it goes back up to 6. And if it goes wrong, hopefully they hit you out of it without downing you, and we'll get into the more details of battles here as well.
Yeah, so you want it to be lower than your opponents. You also, if in those instances, you want to like launch so that you aim at the same direction as your opponents.
Yeah.
So that you can start firing and unloading damage first, because getting that first strike is really big in this game. It sets you up with a humongous tempo advantage. But to explain what we have, this game works kind of like a arena brawler is kind of the term we've historically used to describe it. We have this little robot, and yes, he is little. He's like 6 or 7 inches.
He's 11 inches according to the game.
Okay. It was also a very clean second fight there. But you come with several different robot parts. So you have your base model. Your base model determines your stats, such as your defense, your run speed, the types of mid-air dashes that you can do, because you can jump and do a mid-air dash. Our Robo model here has 2 mid-air dashes. Some have up to 5. Some have like just extra jumps. There's a whole bunch of different stuff we can get into. It also determines the charge. You're going to see him occasionally do like this. He's going to stand still, and then like a flicker effect appears, and then he's going to charge forward, and that instantly downs the opponent and does like 100-something damage.
Yeah, it's honestly the best source of early damage with the Rayo 1, the starting Robo, and because of that, there's also some damage scaling that comes in effect. The more damage you do, like in a fighter game, eventually the scaling will kind of go down and down. The charges are consistent damage, and we tend to use that as much as we can. Like one charge will actually kill him here. There we go. It does, I think, 111 to 120 damage exactly. I can't remember the exact total number, but I do know for a fact.
It depends on the Robo model. The really low defense ones can do like 130, 140, I want to say.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you have your charge. You have your bomb, which you can lob in the air. Usually flies fairly fast. We have a standard bomb right now. We'll be upgrading that part to the most broken part in the game very soon.
Yeah, thankfully.
And the standard bomb, if you throw it and then collide with the enemy, like right after with your charge, you can actually sort of do this chain combo where you get the damage from both the bomb and the charge very quickly. That is one of the bread and butter combos of the first 5 days, where we'll be playing as Ray 01 here.
Yeah. And we see this is a little bit larger robot he's versing. These are metal grapplers. They are the ones which are bulkier. The blue one we fought earlier is Metal Ape. That's the robot we will eventually get for the rest of the run. Not right now. That'll be after a few more days. Oh yeah, the other thing as well, just for explaining things wise, we referred everything in days because when the hero goes back home and sleeps, the days end. So he has now done all the battles in day 1, and the next will be day 2, and so forth up to day 12.
Yeah, so the category that we're doing is New Journey, any percent. What that effectively means is it is from a fresh file, and we do the game mode known as New Journey, which is sort of where the majority of the actual story / plot of this game happens. There is a second mode called Grand Battle. That is sort of like the follow-up post-game, and it is much more extensive than New Journey.
Yeah.
And it is just so many Robo battles. Just so many Robo battles.
Yeah, there's also restrictions in the Grand Battle ones where you can only use one part once for like every 6 battles or something, or 6 battle chain. We are getting the name here.
RIJ for RTA in Japan.
Yeah. And we'll eventually change the color as well. Again, I do want to give shout outs to Bombomb. He's been so wonderful learning this game. And he's watched all the tutorials that I put out. When I should redo a few of them, but like he's just been an absolute sponge for absorbing. And here we go for talking to everyone. Get used to this as well.
So New Journey, kind of the reason I touched on it is it effectively works as one very large tutorial for how this game is played, which I actually really like, because like it gives you something to like play the game solo and like get used to the different parts and the way the game plays, while also just like teaching you mechanics. Like it starts off with basic mechanics, but it actually gets into some of the more, detailed, like different combos and different tactics that you can employ in battle. Now, obviously, like any sort of good fighting brawler type game, there's plenty that you can experiment with yourself, as Shawnee has demonstrated to me many times. Also, the pace stinks.
Yeah, the pay stinks. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, this job has very bad pay.
With the naming screen, a finish of 926 for day one. That is really good.
Yeah.
Those are some nice clean battles. I have my splits up just to have a comparison, and honestly, with the naming screen, that's really good.
Yeah, so now we're on day 2. We're gonna start doing our first like real job. The boss of Steel Hearts employs this because we have a Robo now, and we are clearly more competent than Harry. So yeah, Harry's kind of the loser slash buddy in this game. One particular quirk of the Japanese version is Harry always has this massive gaping smile on his model in the Japanese version.
It's creepy.
It's so creepy.
Oh, so the other thing as well to point out, he has a different animation for his little portrait where he puffs out his neck like a frog. You'll notice it pop up. They remove that as well when he gets upset. They change it to him crossing his arms in the English version. Also, there's liquor bottles in
we'll get to that.
Steel Hearts, later. But this is the last low percent fight, just because after this, Bombomb will visit a parts generator and get the first set of parts, and the next one will come in about 3 more days.
Yeah, so as the game's name would suggest, this is Custom Robo. And what would Custom Robo be without the ability to customize your Robo?
Yep.
The way it tends to work is specific fights in the story mode. Oh, that's unfortunate. Harry being a butt, as he always is. As this game works, various different fights in the story mode. They're set, it's not random. They give you a part after the fight, which if you go to like this little terminal called a parts generator, you can add it to your arsenal. Unfortunately, the parts generator has a fairly lengthy animation. In this game, the N64 version has much quicker ones and also requires you to go to the terminal a couple more times. So we don't visit the parts generator too often. In fact, despite the fact that we picked up a very good gun a couple days, or at the end of the first day, we don't get it until after we fight Harry, because Harry gives us Standard Bomb S.
Which is the most broken thing in the game.
Yes. The basic standard bomb, you just lob it and it hits the enemy. Standard Bomb S, on the other hand, is a variant of this that I think does slightly less damage, but it stuns an enemy for where they're just like in this kind of staggered animation for like a solid second. And that is just a huge window of opportunity to just unload a lot of damage on an opponent. So this guy here is a little raider. He gets downed at even the slightest touch, which is actually more annoying than you'd think, because when you get downed, you actually take less damage.
Which is why Bombomb is trying his best to we finished off the battle nicely there, but like we said before, the charge does fix damage, so that this kind of gets around the whole damage scaling thing. And if you hit them when they land, everything has a landing leg for a little bit. And you can take advantage of that, but you can't use Standard Bomb S on them, or else they'll just down, and then the damage scaling will come into effect as well. So these 2 battles, this one is the second little raider. Same strategy, wait for him to land, charge into him, do a bunch of damage. And then there's the yellow buggy fight. Do you want to explain the yellow buggy fight after? Everyone hates the yellow buggy.
When we get to it. But yeah, so this guy, you'll see right above the HP counter, which is always 1,000, minus a few weird things that you can do exclusive to the Japanese version to lower it if you're having trouble. Above that are these 3 little blue or red bars, depending on which player we're talking about. Those we kind of call them shields, basically. Those kind of indicate how much more damage you can take before you get knocked down.
Yeah, and this is why the little raiders get knocked down in 1. It just depletes immediately, while Metal Grapplers, the big bulky guys, it takes a long time to down them.
So this Buggy, he has some really weird animations, and it is just really obnoxious to get to deal with this guy. I don't know if it was this one or the next fight because they're both buggies, but I have died to these fights. I think these are the earliest fights that I have died to in this run. Every fight in this game has like somebody who has died to it at least once, like after the first day.
Yeah, this game is not free. You think something is free, and then you take a closer inspection. Someone's died to it a couple times. Both me and Ghost have done marathon runs. We've died to, honestly, seemingly like silly battles. And here's where the buggy likes to be the buggy. He is very evasive and has a three-way gun to stall you. And, okay, good. I was going to say, hopefully they go into a rebirth cycle, and that prevents, there's a little vulnerability phase before you can damage him again, and the buggy almost entered that before Bombomb finished that match. So if that was the case, it possibly could have got up, flown away, damaged him, and just cost more time there. But that was an overall clean battle for Yellow Buggy. And now here's the Red Buggy, which isn't as difficult as the Yellow Buggy in my eyes.
It's so weird. Like, the enemies will have different types of Robo, but like individual enemies have like different AI. There's one fight that's meant to be like an exact rematch of a previous fight.
Oh, God.
The rematch is like 3 times as hard. It's actually obscene.
Yeah, I don't know why certain battles work the way they do, but yeah, we'll touch base on that one. Hopefully, Bombom's able to do that one without death, because that was one that can just go extremely bad extremely quickly.
Yeah, he's just mowing down. I think he's only like been down once or twice this entire run. He's just absolutely mowing this down. So Bomb is kind of like he's become kind of the darling of the custom Robo server as of late, on account of just we had a huge period of activity between the span of 2016 and like 2018, and then Shawnee over here got the first sub 2 hour time, which
kind of killed everyone's momentum.
It did, like, even though nobody else was really competing for it. It was just kind of like the marker of like, wow, we have pushed this game so far. Like, it used to be like sub 220 was seen as like a dominant time, and then we just got much better strats, and
215, 210, 208, 206, 204, 202, and then it was like 2 hours and a bit, 2 hours and a bit, 2 hours and a bit, and it took me actually sub 2 years to get sub 2 time, but it was yeah. Also, Bomb due to a Japanese strat was able actually to beat my low percent time, so I no longer have a leaderboard sweep. Although that itself is its own little thing, because I would love to be able to turn the end boss to 25% life.
Yeah, so what's going on here in the story? We got a call that there's been a disruption at a local park. As it turns out, there are these 2 guys. They each asked this girl out, and she gave them each her number and said, "Meet me at the same location at the same time," because she is an airhead, and these 2 are just lovelorn, I guess.
Yeah.
So they're causing an absolute ruckus with their fighting. So we need to just kind of like, keep the peace.
Yeah, that's why we were hired. Also, we're also going to find out as well is they threatened us with hugs and high fives.
I love this animation. It's like they're gonna hit us.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we get introduced to our third coworker. Her name is Hatsune Miku. I mean Marcia, aka Marcia.
Yes, thank you.
Or Masha, as the Japanese text says, which confirms that it is in fact Marcia, but nobody seems to agree on the Spanish or Italian pronunciation of this character.
Hey, those in chat, type in what you think it is. Is it MARCIA or MARCIA?
Shut the hell up. Anyways, so as we were kind of alluding to with the story of this game, nobody had a sub 2 hour and 5 minute time for the longest time, and then Bomb started pick this game up and submit it to, I think, RTA in Japan last year. Yeah. And it was on backup, or it was I think it was the summer that he submitted to, and it was on the backup list. And he's just been working on it, for getting it into smaller marathons and just pushing his time down. So now he's currently at like 2 hours and 20 seconds.
2 hours 34 seconds.
Yeah, he's been definitely pushing it in like contending for record, which is something we just haven't seen in a while. So Bombom's just kind of become like the darling of the Robo server. We all want to see this man like thrive with this game. Anyway, this is the Robo
Look behind
quiz.
me.
Middle top, bottom, bottom top, bottom, bottom top, middle bottom.
Yep, you're right. I can check. My shirt says it behind me. That's not a that goes to silent because he knows that's true.
Yeah, so Shawnee has like a shirt with all the quiz answers on there, and I'm just like, man, it's not that hard to remember 8 like answers of a 3-question multiple choice, bro.
I have done over 300 attempts in this game. I still can't memorize that quiz for life of me for some reason.
I think you're just making excuses at this point. You have more college education than me.
Honestly, it's one of those funny things where it's for whatever reason. Anyway, this is because so the reason we're here and taking a quiz is Ernest found out we don't have a license to be a bounty hunter, and we need a license to actually not be arrested when we're going to solve crimes when we did the stuff at the park. So it's like, oh, well, that's a problem. Well, it costs a lot of money to get licenses, so he put up the money for us because there's no currency in this game that you can. Thankfully, Arena had that on the DS, which is kind of okay. But we passed the thing, and Harry was talking to the receptionist, which I'm sure will play no part in the story at all in a second.
Yeah, she is the only person who finds anything remotely charming enough about him to give him her number. And of course, Harry is a complete klutz and buffoon.
So that bandana, I love the physics of the bandana.
I love the bandana. Why does it have like actual physics? It's so animated. It's so cool.
The character portrait in the North American version still has a bandana around his forehead, but nothing behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So they removed it. So it's like, oh, okay. So Harry, being our klutz, drops the number outside of this person's lawn?
Outside of our neighbor's house. Now,
oh,
that's
right.
Gonna cause some problems the next day.
Yeah. Also, just to point it out, you see the text flying by? This game has mashing. Like, Bomb is mashing like crazy. It is really hard to explain on how, like, if you hear little blips and stuff, or it was on the English restream. If you were watching the original stream and you started hearing blips and like they have Animal Crossing noises for when they talk in different tones. But also, I see in the RTA chat, Ice Shy Guy. Ice Shy Guy is actually another Japanese runner of our community, just not in the Discord. So, yeah, like we actually have 2 runners. From
3
Japan.
actually.
Yes,
the other one is actually the commentator for this one. That is Ika Hiziki, who is you see on the microphone his name right underneath Bombombs.
Yep. I do believe they did a bad ending recently, right?
I think so. Ika is. I suddenly realized he's got the Splatoon hat on.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, Ika. Okay, makes sense. Ika meaning squid. But has like a 212 in any percent. So small number of Japanese runners, but definitely not. They're definitely as much of a part of the community as everyone else.
Absolutely, and we're always happy to have anyone who comes and enjoys Robo battles to enjoy, be part of the community.
So this fight here is against. Her name is Woman at this point.
Yes,
she gets a name later. It's hard to remember. Like I forget some of the Japanese names because some of them are the same and some of them are different. Like Harry and Marcia are the same, but like Walt, who is the name of the husband, who gets a name before his wife, despite the wife appearing first.
I asked Bomb about this, and actually her name is just a generic woman as well in the Japanese version.
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't introduce herself, or she doesn't have a name until day 9.
Yeah, it's like I think it's kind of a point they make. It's like, what was your name again?
Yeah.
But anyways, so the husband and wife here are they're having a fight, which marital troubles. They so they solve marital troubles with Robo, which is kind of hilarious if you ask me. So The plot basically is she found a note outside of her house with a phone number on it, thinking back a little bit, and called the number on the phone and heard the voice of a cute girl. She found this in her husband's laundry, so she thought that he was cheating on her, which is causing this whole dispute. Of course, we'll explain after this fight that, it was all Harry's fault because everything in this game is Harry's fault.
Pretty much, yeah. Also, this is a 2v2 battle.
Yep, these were introduced in Custom Robo V2. And you have your Robo and your opponent's Robo. You can press the Y button to switch targets. You usually don't want to do that because your AI in this game is not particularly good at doing damage. This is not exclusive to Harry, although Harry is the partner that we end up with the most, so he gets most of the blame.
Harry has done 200 points of damage by the time Bombomb's done basically taking out one character. So, yeah, this is kind of why getting a sub-2 time, or getting a good time at all, just comes down to the doubles battles, really, and Harry behaving. And also not bombing you. He tends to bomb you quite a bit.
Yeah, so you can take... so there are two types of weapons that can affect your allies. There are pods, which we haven't talked about because pods aren't particularly useful in story mode.
Until the very end battle for Speed Pod D, that's it.
And bombs, which we haven't talked about because Standard Bomb S is really freaking good. Those bombs can hurt you. Pods can't hurt you, but they can like knock you aside.
Yeah. Or insta down in some cases too. Some can just put you in the down state immediately. Like, well, a couple characters have it, but in particular, there's another rival of Ernest, our boss in this game, who has it. We'll verse a couple times. If he gets one bomb off, it's very problematic to get back close to the person again.
This exchange is kind of great. We've basically solved all of the marital problems of our neighbors, and now we are being asked by our boss to go to a place called Bogey's. It's a cafe in the English version. It is a bar in the Japanese version. I'm not especially sure why they censored this, considering Nintendo became a lot more lax around this time, but... Yep, if you played the North American version, all of this liquor here is gone.
It's a bunch of coffee mugs and like...
So this guy's name is Evil. It is literally evil, and he has the greatest laugh in the game.
You can hear it there.
We love Evil. We love Evil.
Oh, hey, Bob did it as well.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Honestly, again, I absolutely adore Evil as a character. He actually has a decent character arc.
He's not even like evil. He's just kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
I love this.
Who calls their kid evil? That's the other thing. Also, this is the end of day 4. We also, every single time it fades to black, you see the bottom option being picked. That is a potential time loss. If you choose to basically wander, that's problematic. You have to walk all the way back home.
Yeah, we call it the walk of shame. Every day in this game, you're given the option to walk around, talk to NPCs, which I highly recommend you do in a casual playthrough because there's a lot of dialogue in this game that they like put a lot of effort into, and it's genuinely a delight. Like, you might not think it is for a game as short and silly and over the top as this one, but the dialogue in this game is genuinely a delight.
This is a route change from what I do and Bombomb does. Bombomb does not get Metal Ape until Steel Hearts, which is to be scary. Seeing, because this is the second time and only last time we actually visit the parts generator in this one. Gosh, his grin.
I love Harry's grin. It's so bad. Alright, so there's a dead man lying here in this Chinese restaurant. To recap,
there is.
Yeah, this game kind of just likes to randomly remember it has an actual story.
Yeah.
And kind of custom Robo games tend to cram like most of their story in the last day of the game.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Marcia's staying behind to help with the investigation because she can do a half dive and see what the dead man saw previously before, dying.
It is an overly specific power that causes her way more problems than it realistically should.
And I can't explain where it comes from, but that'll be for later.
Yeah, so the basic gist of what else happened in the last day. Ernest was at the bar, drunk out of his mind, or writing poetry, and like enjoying the atmosphere in the North American version,
which I love more, truthfully.
It's so good. The censored version is actually better. found this this wanted criminal named Fukashi, or Marv in the North American version. He was bagged by evil, which kind of shows our rivalry between the two. So the next day we get a call that a man has died, and he was killed by apparently a autonomous robo, which is a very weird thing because there aren't usually autonomous robos that are anything more than simple cranes and automatic operating factory work. And so that kind of sets up a plot thread for later. Oh, he's going with Metal Ape now. Interesting.
Yep. Well, yeah, because you quit Metal Ape before the evil fight. This is the only opportunity you do.
Yep. Anyways, so Bogey is Bogey calls Ernest, and Bogey and Ernest are good friends, so they do a lot of under the table crap. Bogey is running an illegal gambling circuit in the back of his bar/coffee house. And somebody has been just absolutely, wiping the floor with everybody. So there's no betting. Nobody wants to bet because they all know who's going to win. So he wants us to come in and actually put a stop, cause an upset and mess with the circuit a bit. And so that's why we're going back to Bogey's Cafe. We are going to participate in something illegal because bounty hunters don't particularly like the police in this game.
Also, just to point out, you saw bombomb on this go from 800 health down to 400. Metal Ape doesn't get down. Damage scaling doesn't really come in effect. There's a good chunk of damage again. You can get a lot of damage just by being the bulkier, more defensive thing, just because your damage scaling is not coming in effect. So 2v2 battles, if Harry is what he's doing there, sitting behind a wall, shooting a bomb and hitting himself, you might get 2v1, and you have a very real chance of losing a battle very quickly. Yeah. And again, everything is improv as well, where you have to react based on what's happening. You can see the little indicator on top. You can switch that with the Y button to see who's aiming at you or who you're aiming at. And now we have to talk to everyone in the room and find out what's going on. And I'm sure that guy in the blue with blue hair is not going to be important later at all.
You say that, but there's this guy here on the left who has an actual unique portrait.
His name is Mr. K. He is in the staff credits room in the grand battle.
He has a unique portrait, but he's not important to New Journey. Also, you saw Harry's bloated face in that cutscene. I love that portrait.
Here's Polly.
Here's Polly. He's a cop, and he's doing this illegally because he's trying to get some extra money because the police don't pay very well in this game.
Yeah. Polly's actually one of the more annoying models of Robos. It's called Strike Vanisher. You'll see it if bombomb fails to keep him under control. But Strike Vanisher vanishes, surprisingly, when it does his air dashes and can do up to 3. So it can easily get away from you very, very quickly, or you can control it and exploit the landing legs. You can see here 1, 2, 3, dash, 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 standard bomb S, just missed, and you try to get him again. Problem is, he also has a Gatling gun, and he likes to push you around. So this is a very problematic fight to try to do very quickly.
Yeah, so we haven't touched too much on the properties of the 3-way gun, actually.
Yes, that's true.
Which is our main bread and butter weapon for this game, and a big part of that is that this weapon is much more effective on Metal Ape than it is on Rayo 1. It's still decent on Rayo 1, but one thing we haven't really gotten into is the unique properties of Metal Ape. Apart from his defense, which is huge because not getting down means you're not wasting 3 seconds every time you get hit. The Metal Ape has an extended air dash rather than 2 air dashes, which will be getting a leg part, or which I believe he already has a leg part that lets him extend his dash even mid-air dash even further. It has a charge. It's not great because it's kind of a shoryuken basically, a DP, an uppercut, anti-air, whatever you want to call it. But it's not as effective because it has a long animation. It's not as effective as Rayo 1, but it is still useful. But finally, perhaps the most unsung property of this for the speedrun is the fact that Metal Ape is the perfect height to abuse the 3-way gun. The 3-way gun fires 3 bullets in 3 rows, so 9 total bullets. But if you are at point-blank range, you can hit an enemy with all 9 bullets, and it just unloads an absolute truckload of damage onto your opponent. Metal Ape is actually a slightly taller Robo, which allows him to do this a lot more effectively than Rayo 1. And the other thing is, if you press jump the second you press fire, the game treats it as if you're firing in midair.
Which it does teach you.
Yes. If you're in midair, guns tend to have slightly different properties than when you're on the ground. For the three-way, if you're on the ground and you fire all your shots, it knocks the enemy away. But if you're in midair, or in this case, if you jump right as you fire, you can cause the enemy to like shoot upwards and towards you. So he's going to be trying to fire three-way while the game considers it in midair as much as he possibly can.
Yeah, and there's also one other exploit bombomb is trying to do with the AI, is if an enemy ends their rebirth cycle inside or on the air, they will automatically use all of their air dashes possible to try to get away from you. So by doing 2 close range ones and then the final one being pushing away, if you manage to time it so they end the rebirth cycle in the air, they're very like a little bit off the ground and they'll just try to air dash away. You shoot the standard bomb S, you can stun them, you can jump and then just do a neutral jump without anything on the control stick. You automatically home in with your air dash with Metal Ape, and then you can do an aerial 3-way gunshot and repeat the process. So you'll see Bomb for his final third kind of combo hit with 3-way gun, he'll try to push the enemy away, especially in this battle in particular, because this air dash is actually more of a kind of a glide. This is Shiner, and you see there's one close, and then one away, and now he can't get over the walls. And because of that, he can actually track him down and hopefully pin him down again. So this is exactly how you were to manipulate the AI. And this is kind of all we have, because I know some other games in this marathon or other marathons or just other speed games in general have glitches. We don't have that.
This game is just be as good as possible at the Robo battles, which it does
really hard to do.
It is really hard to do. It does end up meaning that there's quite a bit of volatility, but it actually is a surprisingly deep, fun little speed run because you have there is a despite there being a luck component to it, there is like a demarcation of people who are really good versus who are pretty good, versus who are just starting off, etc.
Yeah, and everyone has a potential to get to that second bracket, because if you just know how the speedrun works, not even with Metal Ape or whatever, as long as you can exploit the AI, you can probably get a good time. And there's a lot of different categories. We have New Game Plus as well. So if you have a certain build you like to use it. Do a run.
Most people in this game, their first run will be somewhere between 2 hours and 40 minutes and 3 hours, because this game is casually only about a 6-hour playthrough if you read all the text.
Yeah.
So we defeated the guy who was running the bracket, Shiner, who was causing all sorts of problems because he was just wiping the floor with everybody. In taking him out, we noticed that there is a big letter Z or Z if you're Shawnee and Canadian, and that indicates that he's part of something called the Z or Z Syndicate, and they're kind of the criminal organization that ties into the plot. We won't be hearing from them until much later because
this game forgets it has a plot.
This game forgets it has a plot all the time because it's like, hey, let's go. We need more Robo battles. We need to add more days where people do Robo battles because people who are playing this game are playing this game to do Robo battles.
Yeah. Also, tournaments are a normal thing. Like a lot of normal things. There's 4 tournaments, I think, in the 12 days or something.
Yep. And then we get to Grand Battle, which is nothing but tournaments.
Yeah, which is brutal. But also, the kid up here who put his hands through the top right one, he'll fold his hands through his actual character model. I don't know why. But
it's so good.
Everyone else doesn't. It's just that one kid.
I think this game was in a similar engine as Pokemon XD, just based on the character models. Imagine it was like a Nintendo in-house kind of engine. All right,
Sealhead.
This kid has Sealhead. Also a really annoying arena because there's a train that goes around everywhere. But
it goes choo-choo.
This is the Funky Big Head model. They're similarly bulky to the Metal Grappler, but they have incredibly long downtime. You can actually get 4 shots off if you time it well, and they're not they have less aerial mobility than metal grapplers, so they're kind of just a big meat shield.
Yeah,
I love the funky big head models, but in the speed run, they're kind of seen as like breather fights.
did you use it in the RPG Limit Break
I
tournament?
don't remember which kind I used.
I think you
It was
did.
like 5 years ago.
But yeah, everyone who runs this game enjoys beating up steelheads. Also, we have a raid from SpeedGaming too. We can explain the game in a second, but welcome to all the raiders.
Yeah, so this guy here, he owns the Chinese restaurant that the guy died at earlier in the story. He's upset because his restaurant was closed by police as part of a security matter.
Oh no.
So he's here to try and get some money to make up for it, despite the fact that this is a public tournament that is going on for funsies and that there is no prize money.
Yeah.
We are literally only trying to do this to promote our company.
This is also an arena that has been reskinned from the N64 games, which is amazing. This is actually where you fight basically one of the end bosses in Custom Robo V1.
A lot of fun little arenas in this game. Like there's some basic ones, but like there's some really neat little ones in this game as well.
There's also one which is a bathroom stall, which is actually the end boss to Custom Robo V1.
I love that. It's so dumb. I hate that arena in Custom Robo 1 though. That final boss might actually be the hardest thing in this series apart from this game's end boss.
Yes, I actually agree. Also, that was a nice clean fight. Dawn is what is it? It's a little raider, so it gets down in a single hit again. It's a Peregrine Falcon or Peregrine Falcon. Peregrine. Yeah, and it is obviously very fast on the ground, but Dawn has a drill gun, which kind of staggers you, but thankfully with Metal Ape, it can't down you. If you're playing as Rayo 1, like in low percent, where you don't change your equipment at all, you get down by the drill gun, and it is very problematic to get in front of Dawn again. And this is Mary, who has ice pods.
I like, ice pods is like really annoying.
Yeah.
I like how she liked the parks so much that it became her arena. Yeah, so in this game's universe, everyone has like, some people have like their own personal arenas. The protagonist doesn't, and that's actually a plot point at one point.
Yeah. Ooh, nice and clean.
Yeah, very clean fight. So we're just, running through this bracket to try and promote our company. But anyways, Harry gets completely owned because Marcia is a far more competent Robo battler than he is.
Yeah, they have different grades. We're D when it comes to the license we have. Harry, I believe, is D as well because he doesn't want to spend money and actually earn anything. And Marcia is B.
Yeah, she wants to get A rank to join the police so she can find her long lost brother, who may or may not show up in this game.
Yeah, we'll have to find out if anyone else has blue hair. I think the receptionist who hosts the tournament.
There's like 4 characters with blue hair in this game. It's anime as heck, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, so just to explain any of the new raiders and stuff like that who are here, little raiders. This is Custom Robo. It is kind of a arena fighter RPG for the GameCube. This is obviously a restream for RTA in Japan. And I am Shiny7188, joined by Ghost Kumo.
We are commentating for Bombomb, who is...
we adore Bombomb.
We love Bombomb. He's very nice and wholesome. Like he talks in a bit of English on his personal stream, but we haven't had particularly active new runners for this game in a while, so when he kind of took up the mantle and really pushed this game down, he's very competitive with this game. Like he's on the cusp of being able to get a world record at this game, which is actually incredible because as far as we're aware, the Japanese version actually loses a little bit of time over the North American version because rather than just being able to ignore save prompts, you have to manually say no, I don't want to save.
Yeah, which is kind of, I think it's like a third of a second slower, but we don't know quite the optimizations that the Japanese version has over the NTSC version, or vice versa. So we're beating up Marseille here because this is the finals of the tournament. Even though
really annoying. So he the fact that he got that so without only taking a quarter of his health, this is one of the more difficult fights. I have died here before.
Oh yeah, and I told Bomb a long time ago the secret to this is literally going diagonal towards her because her gun shoots in a straight ahead and downs you. He'll give credit to Steel Hearts here. The whole point of this is we want to promote Steel Hearts, and
I love that scene. So it's one of the only text options that is actually faster to choose. It's actually faster to choose an answer other than the first one. And you basically say, like, I want to give credits to my companies. Like, everybody, check out Steelheart. And, like, everyone in the room just goes silent, and Harry and Marsha are just like, oh, this is the most cringe.
Yeah.
It's so like, now, oh, I'm glad we didn't win.
Yeah, so on my splits, this was called Why Can't We Be Friends? So we're off to go see Linda.
This is the lab.
Bees. But anyway.
we don't even get to bees until day like 9, right?
Yeah. Also, that giant circular thing in the room previous is a monument to holograms by not being a hologram. So, and also Marcia will actually run through that later in the day. So please watch for that as well, because this game's great if you pay attention to the walking things. It also takes them half a second to despawn out of here when they walk past the thing. Small things you don't have to dig 300 runs in this game. Harry will sit there and go, nope, there you go.
Yeah, so this is another talk to everyone section.
Which can go extremely wrong if you talk to a chair.
Yes, which everyone has done at least.
Yeah. There's also a chocolate bar here.
Yeah, so yes, it is. There's so much of just dialogue that's just like worth talking to people, because there's one guy who's like, I hit a chocolate bar here, and then it's gone later.
Yeah, because of the break-in, he finds out his coworker didn't have a chance to replace it after eating it. It's a big thing. Honestly, choose to wander and talk to everyone. Every single bench here has unique text. It's stupid how much effort they put into just the casual small things. And also, if you ever see green text in the game, that is actually info about how to play the game.
Yes.
That's how they colorize the tutorial text. So when you normally see these giant talk to everyone sections, like in the tournaments, you see green text. Like normally when Harry gives you instructions before a battle, he's actually teaching you how to play a game. And if you actually do pay attention to Harry, which most of us don't do anymore, you actually learn quite a bit about this game and mechanics and how to play better.
And what's great too, I don't know if it's quite this way in the Japanese version, but in the English version, there's a lot of just instances where it's like Harry says, like, do you understand? You're given yes, no, and snark. And the third option is hilarious. Like most of the time. It's not always with Harry. There's one time where you're talking to you're talking to like a computer, and it's like, yes, I get it, no, I don't get it. I am not. It's like, yes, I maybe kind of get it, and then it just says unable to process strangely ambiguous answer.
So I'll repeat it anyway. It always repeats what it says. The snark never saves time. There you go. Marcia for the actual thing.
Yep. So what's basically going on here is strange figures we're seeing around the lab, and the police have once again been completely useless. So she invites a bunch of bounty hunters to kind of stake out the place and get some information about what the heck has been going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Why are strange figures being seen around the lab at night? Of course, the night that we decide to stake it out, there is a break-in. And all these strange figures who also conveniently happen to be wearing Z Syndicate or Z Syndicate uniforms.
Can I translate for Canadians?
Yes, I have to translate for Canadians because you borrowed, your alphabet conventions from the British.
Well, that, and I was on the world record holder, so I say Zed. Dethrone me, and we can call it the other one.
I got you into this game, man.
I know, it's amazing. I'm in the Discord now.
You own the Discord. I'm a mod too, Mods have feelings.
Do they? Anyway.
I mean, you're one of them. Do you have feelings?
I'll get back to you later. But anyway, there's 3 battles here. The 3 battles in the building, 1 battle outside. The first 2 battles, honestly, it's a strike vanisher, and I can't remember what the second model is. They're not very difficult overall. I think it's a Splendor, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, is it this one or the next one? I think the next one's the one that's like really annoying because they have a shotgun.
We respect the shotgun guy. That is the one battle which, if you're watching the Japanese stream, not the Japanese restream, we are the restream. Bombomb will honestly take that battle very seriously because, again, we play Metal Lake. We're a little bit bulkier. We can take attacks and not be downed. We can, plan around that. Shotgun says no.
Yeah, it's fairly short range, but because we want to maximize our damage, we want to get close range. The problem with that is shotgun will down you no matter how bulky your Robo is, except for like the end boss. I think maybe. Does the end boss get downed by shotgun?
It does and doesn't. It's a weird, awkward thing of it gets up in a single frame.
Yeah, okay, we'll get
it takes like 3 shotgun hits to actually down. It is ridiculously high threshold.
Yeah, like for anything that's not the end boss, shotgun will down you instantly. So you have to play these fights with a bit more respect to the neutral game.
Yeah, we love Robo.
This arena stinks.
Yes,
because it's ice based. It has a slippery property to it.
Yeah, you want to do as many air dashes as you can here just to avoid it. Or if you want to stop your sliding on the ice, oh, that's very lucky. Okay, good. You can do small hops to correct your path on the ice as well. And once you kind of get used to that movement, and okay, good. Still no shotgun so far. We don't want to see shotgun. I don't want to have demonstration purposes, and that is perfect.
Yeah, he paid a lot more respect to the neutral game, got lucky in not getting shot, and then was able to land his standard bomb very well. That is one of the deal breakers with a lot of runners is how effectively they're able to use their standard bomb. Because if you just chuck the thing haphazardly without paying attention to your opponent's movement, you're going to miss more than you'll hit. And getting that stagger is just so helpful, especially in that arena where you have very slippery run speed.
Yeah. And the thing as well is you can also choose to run away here. It does take time, but it's a funny option. That's the snark option. The party is fight, negotiate, or just run away. Just look at Marcia and just book it. He comes back like, I don't want to fight.
He tries to run away, and he comes back. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about this game. Despite most GameCube games going up in value, this game I think you can still get on eBay for like $25, which is better. Which is a better buy than like most GameCube games.
Yeah,
I recommend this game wholeheartedly. It's kind of just chock full of just GameCube era nostalgia.
So we're seeing a person here who led the break-in, trying to find, honestly, just another Robo or some. I can't remember exactly what they're looking for. It's a pretty ideal match. Thankfully,
they're looking for the plot device.
Yeah, one half of a twin is spoilers. One half of the twin is basically not difficult, and even though the hero says, "Oh, she's holding back on me" or whatever, and she walks away. Now, that fight, honestly, you can do pretty painless with the Metal Lake 3 gun setup. All you have to do is kind of just meet her in the air and just knock her back down, and she's fine. We're explaining things to Linda. She's like, why is everything torn apart? That was us investigating. We're really bad at that. So we're like, yeah, we're blaming it on the burglars. And then we go home. So now we're on to day 8. And day 8 has probably the turning point for difficulty overall in the run. Because there's only 2 battles. Which is like, oh, wow, a short day. No, these 2 battles in particular, you treat with respect. The first one, you can kind of do a little bit, casually and kind of get away with it. The second one, well, we'll see when it gets to there. If something goes wrong on that one, it's really hard to pin down the Robo and save time. And both these fights in general, they are, what are they called? The Lightning Sky models? Yeah. Where they fly. And also, I see it, Hex360 Xbox in chat talking about custom Robo. On the SRC page, if anyone, not just you, but if anyone wants to join the Discord and learn the game, we are more than happy. We have tutorials and resources for any new runners or casual enjoyers of the game.
So this is the point where we mention that the main character not having his own personal arena, like most characters do, matters because Harry and Marcia do. So this is Rahu. This is the robot that literally killed a person. It does not look like a conventional Robo. It's got weird organic biology mixed with like robot parts. There's still some ambiguity to this character, even to those of us who like are familiar with this series. He has power that far outstrips most other types of robos, and he in the story can evolve like considerably. Like he's stronger now than he was at the Chinese restaurant. But Harry, being the complete, insensitive jerk that he is, just says, "Hey, let's have the protagonist solo the Rahu fight," and that was a very good Rahu fight.
Yeah, and the thing is, pay attention and remember this particular fight, and like how quote unquote easy that looked, because that's not going to be the same in a little bit. Just as a heads up.
So here we have another blue-haired man, mysterious, think, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
This is, and then also a ninja, apparently.
I hate that so much.
I hate that so much, too.
Yeah, someone on the Custom Robo Wiki edited his page to say something about him in Naruto or something as a teacher.
He looks kind of like a character from Naruto. It's why is this on the... See, this is why fandom is a bad website, along with all the terrible ads. Anyways, so we're fighting blue-haired character. Marcia insists that we don't fight him, which...
Oh, here's the problem, yeah.
Anyways, this is kind of like one of those Lightning Sky models, except it's an illegal version, which the illegal robos and parts in Custom Robo are basically souped-up versions of regular ones.
Oh, that's good.
And so they're meant to be like turbo, just busted. This one just having like an absolutely ludicrous air dash. This is being asked in chat. I forgot if there was a New Game Plus. There is, in fact, a New Game Plus. We have a dedicated category for New Game Plus. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, honestly, if you want to use illegal parts, go nuts. If you just want to play with your favorite stuff and get a run on leaderboard, go nuts. Just have fun.
Yep.
Times can always be improved on, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. Also, the New Game Plus run is extremely fast because, damage values kind of go burr.
Yep. Yeah, so we got a call here because, as it turns out, Rahu was just absolutely trashing the place. And we solo Rahu, despite the fact that it would be beneficial for us to team up against him, specifically because we wanted to learn more about his arena. So Rahu has his own personal arena, which is unique in that the grass is real. That they say. So that kind of like tells you that all the grass in this world is synthetic. There's pretty much everything in this world, apart from like, I guess the water at the south end maybe, is synthetic.
Well, Harry's fake for sure.
I mean, Harry's fake. And so after that incident at Bogey's, the police force come in to find out what the heck is going on, including Harry's older sister Mira, who is the darker skinned woman with the red hair. And Bob just like letting the game auto scroll itself. That's
showing something off. I know he's showing off, but everyone give a round of applause for Bombomb. He's great. Oh, so this is the tag tournament convention, it says on the board. So this is the convention. So this is RoboCon.
I'm actually curious what that sign says in Japanese. I recognize the symbol for heart, and then what is that? What is that? Sleep?
I think, okay, this might be problematic.
In English, it says serve and protect, and we have kind of a meme because one of our first server admin, Drac, shout outs to Drac. We love Drac. Their friend was over playing the game and read it as swerve and protect. So we've always had a bit of a side thing with this game with swerve and protect.
Yeah.
So the police force are putting on a tournament, which is kind of meant to be a show of support to the community, but secretly it's actually a gauntlet test to try and find the most competent robo battlers, because now that we have a robo on the loose that is going around and literally killing people.
Yeah.
And by people, we mean one random dude.
Poor random dude.
Or random dude. This world is in grave danger, so we need really competent robo battlers to kind of assist with the police in keeping this thing from ending the world.
Yeah.
Or what is left of it, basically.
Speedrun-wise, this is the worst day.
Yep. So this is except for one fight, every fight in this tournament is a 2v2. There is a singles bracket and a 2v2, but the 2v2 proves more popular. So like there's like 100 something entries here versus like 16 in the singles.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we're just fighting the two kids here, the daughter and son of our neighbors.
Yeah. Also, Harry is now downed Bomb twice with the auto down bombs.
Harry has done more damage to Bomb than the kids.
Bomb is taken.
The kids are on the the kids are the opponents here, by the way.
Oh, there you go. I was gonna say the Robo is trying to settle where it's gonna drop on between the train and the platform. Yeah, so this is the biggest source of RNG when it comes to doing a consistent speed run. Is you have Harry here for -1 fight every single time as a doubles partner, and it sucks.
-2 fights.
Well, no, I'm saying for doubles.
Oh yeah, because there's one fight that's a single and there's one that's doubled, but we'll get to that one later. So we're fighting back at the park. We're fighting back at the park again. These two guys are great. So back on day 2, I believe it was, you saw these two fighting it out for the girl's affection, and then as it turns out, they had a lot in common, and they became the best of friends because they both got dumped by the same girl because she is a complete airhead. And they find out that they're really good friends. And so they decide to enter in the doubles tournament together. Oh, nice. The dialogue that they have after you fight them is really funny because they're like, man, our friendship power isn't strong enough. Let's go back to the park and beat each other up some more.
As you do.
That's how you know these guys are practically blood brothers. Is they assert their friendship by beating each other up.
Yeah, their names are Anthony and Thomas. You can tell which one's which because they're alphabetical, left to right. That's the way I remember it. Also, we have in chat talking about chicken heart or tin can. There is technically a tin can percent, oil can percent.
Nobody does.
No one does that. It's essentially either or. It's just a new game plus run. That's all. It is
the most meme. I think it was either you or Drac.
Drac started it, and during our one tournament we had on like a bracket, like the lower seed can pick the category. Drac made me do bad ending oil can, and I did it without dying. And after that, we're like, okay, maybe I'm good at this game. Also, don't do that. That's really bad.
Oil can is really bad. I think Drac completed a full 90% run in like 3.5 hours. The end boss is so hard that even on low percent, it's like incredibly variable whether or not you can beat it.
Unless you're playing the Japanese version.
Unless you're playing the Japanese version, in which case you can retry the fight with giving the boss lower health.
Yeah. 5 losses, you can lower the end boss down to 25% health, which is disturbingly good.
Yeah. So bombomb actually did that in low percent because low percent is like it would be in theory faster to finish the fight first try, but that is so unlikely to ever happen. I don't think anyone has had a low percent deathless run before.
No, I've had 3, I think, at my lowest. That's actually all on the end boss.
Yeah. Thankfully with Metal Ape, because of his Metal Ape's bulk is a big part of many parts of this run, but it makes the 2 hardest fights in this game bearable. There is a bad ending fight, or there's a bad ending category, which is more of a meme, but it does give you like an ending of the second hardest fight in the game, and it allows you to do that without having to do like the hardest fight in the game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the next fight is the one.
Oh god! Sorry, the portraits merge between Carmen and Walt there.
Yeah. It turns out her name is Carmen. Also, she's like, I just noticed her model looks to be like 4 or 5 inches taller than Walt.
Yep. She is an actress, and they entered this tournament to try to earn money, even though there is no prize money to this tournament. Bomb got hit by Metal Ape's charge of all things.
As much as we do occasionally make fun of these two, they are relationship goals because they're like they have been married for a very long time, have multiple kids, and then they still have these moments where like they'll get mad at each other, but then they just get like super lovey-dovey. Like that is relationship goals right there.
Yeah, and The thing is, you see here, Carbon is actually keeping Bomb at bay. Walt, the yellow one for color, with
Walt
Tank
uses
Head, is honestly,
Dowerhead.
yeah, Dowerhead is extremely simple to beat up. So you want to focus on the middle at first. So problem is, you'll see here, there's a bomb by a Harry.
A thing to
Like,
note is that if an enemy in a 2v2 is focusing on Harry, they're basically a sitting duck for you to just keep
yeah,
shooting them in the back over and over. Their AI is not programmed to run away from you. Their AI is programmed to run away from the enemy that they are targeting. In which case, if Harry is like far enough away, it's just gonna run around in a circle, try and jump, and then you can just jump up and just shoot it in the back, just like over and over, and just unload. So that's another part of the volatility. All right.
I love Robo battles.
I love Robo battles. So uh, here's basically the story behind that one is this is Bogey and his busboy waiter. Um, who we later find out is named Lloyd.
Yep.
He is in this tournament because he's not really here to win. He's here to try and walk around and network with people and recruit more people for his his behind the scene, his backroom tournaments. And so we're kind of whispering here, like the plan, and then Harry's like, "Wait, why are we whispering? Like, we need to start our fight, otherwise people are going to think we're suspicious." And then Lloyd is just like, "Wait, suspicious? Oh, wait, we need to not be suspicious." And he just yells, "I love a Robo battle,"
yeah, which is we've taken to be basically the battle cry of the community after Pokehero did that numerous times.
Yeah, it's kind of the slogan. It's kind of the slogan of the custom Robo speedrunning community is "I love Robo battles," because back in the day, like 2016, 2017, one of our runners, Pokehero, whenever it comes up in the run, would just sarcastically say, "I love Robo battles," and then
Yeah.
it just became our thing. And
Oh,
so
this fight.
yeah, so this fight sucks. This is Roy
Yeah.
and Mira. They're the kind of two of the best commanders is the term for
Yep.
robot operators.
According to the
They're
test,
two
yeah.
of the best. They're two of the best commanders in the police force. So naturally, they're given really good robos, and Mira in particular, her robo is was it Magnum or
This Soul, I believe, isn't it? Or
no, the gun type.
oh
It's
yeah,
just
Roy
like
has a
if
Magnum.
it's short, it just downs you. It's not quite shotgun effective, but it is very, very
Yeah,
annoying.
Strike Vanisher, he has a straight bomb T to drag you towards him, and then he has a Magnum to down you immediately.
Yeah,
So Roy can be extremely dangerous, and Mir pushes you away with her gun.
yeah.
And
So
that's
they're
problematic.
they're both equally obnoxious.
Oh, Roy just got
Roy
lava.
Roy SD'd by falling on the lava. So some of these stages have lava pits. We haven't really talked about them too much, but if you ever stand on them, you're immediately downed, launched straight up in the air, and take probably 100 something damage.
Unless you're the end boss playing in versus mode, where you take 900 points of damage before you rebirth. It's amazing.
It's kind of glorious. There is actually I've really wanted to see it happen again. It happened to me exactly once, but there is something that can happen where if you shoot your like a row of bullets, you can knock them into the lava, bounce them back up, hit your bullets,
Yeah,
fall in the lava again, and it's like the most DPS in the game, but it's like a fringe circumstance that has happened exactly
I
like once
unfortunately
to
did that in my sub 2 run, which is why there's like one battle on the final day that if I don't do, I lose like 52 seconds. It's like that's fun. Like I hate that.
So what's going on here in the story is we've been partnering with Harry this entire time, but over time it's just like Marsha's been in the background, just depressed and like completely out of it. Um, just not completely sound of mind. It's kind of a thing revealed that she has extreme emotional sensitivity
Yep.
as a result of her life circumstances, and it's not helped by the fact that basically everyone she's ever known and loved has like left her in her life. So when she sees a person who resembles her brother working for the bad guy, she just kind of goes into full BSOD mode for a while.
Yeah.
And Harry is kind of being insensitive and just says, "Hey, Marsha, do you want to participate?" Like, he's trying to help her out to snap her out of it, but he's kind of terrible at doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So he just rather boastfully just says, "Hey, I'm sick. Can I please tag out with Marcia?" I was like, "Okay." And then she's supposed to be our partner, but she's just like she does not want to fight. So Evil decides, "Okay, that's fine. We'll 1v1." And then the finals of the tournament turns out to be Ernest and Linda. Which, as we mentioned, Ernest is the best character in this game. He swears like to the point where they actually have to censor it in the text. It's he's big, boastful, but he also cares about his employees, which you find out more and more of that as the game goes on. We love Ernest.
We do.
He decides to 1v1 us, and then Harry yells at Marcia, like, snap out of it. Your brother's gone. There's nothing more you can do about it. It's like, we need you here now. And then that kind of snapped her out of it. So she decides that she wants to join us for this fight. And then that puts Linda in the fight. We reset, and it's going to be a 2v2 against Ernest and Linda. Ernest has the metal bear?
Metal bear and a sniper gun.
Yep. Quite an annoying long-range fighter. And then Linda has a
deadly bee weapon.
Yeah, it is the Hornet gun. It fires like 7 giant hornets at you, and we call it the bee gun. We meme about the bees because let me put it this way: there's like 64 fights in this game, which means the majority of the run is just occupied by robo battles, and the strats are, they change from fight to fight in terms of like knowing how to space against your opponents, how to handle every situation, but they are effectively get really close to them, shoot your 3-way gun down them, spam the 3-way gun at point blank, and get these combos as best as you can without, getting downed in the process and just positioning yourself to not take damage. So kind of repetitive in some ways. Which basically means that over the years we develop our own memes of just like, this particular fight. She uses bees, and bees are a funny word. So we just talk about bees.
Yeah.
Every time Linda comes up, beesreviews.com, which sadly has been taken down. But
I know, I'm sad by that one. But the thing is, Linda also, like, all jokes aside, will ruin a run. If she gets away from you, it's really hard to get her pinned down again. So like bees, whatever. Like I said, like it is a very much a run killer if they both target you, because if you get hit by the sniper gun, you're pushed back, she gets away, the hornets will down you and repeat. And unfortunately, if you get hit by all 5 hornets from the hornet gun, you take a lot of damage. And also, just to round up the end of the day, we get invited to dinner to basically say we're a great team. And we're moving on to S license exam.
Yep. So now we're on to day 10. We won the tournament of day 9. And we are invited to Harry's house to celebrate. Just kind of a team bonding experience. But an important thing that gets mentioned is the main character has a really snazzy looking watch. And you get asked questions about it. It's like, oh, this belonged to my dad. He didn't tell me anything about it other than to keep very, very good care of it.
Yeah.
All right, back to Steel Hearts again. So we are told to get back to the police department. As a note, we haven't really touched on this. It is like a third of a second faster to go to the left of the house than it is to go to the right on your way to Steel Hearts or the lab or anywhere on the north end of town. If you end up getting it saves a couple seconds off of your run. We have to find our optimizations where we can get them. If you take the right path, you lose a very small amount of time, but you feel a immense amount more shame.
Also, will Bomb go for table clip? The only other thing we ever have in this game, or is Bomb going to walk around? Oh, he's going to walk around Harry.
No,
reset. Try again.
You disappoint me.
Yeah. No, the old thing again.
Frames will never get You'll never get those 12 frames back.
For whatever reason, this is the one time where you can clip through characters in an object and just push through, then talk to the chief and start the battle. Also, M. Thompson's in chat. Third place runner.
Another sub 210 runner.
Yeah. Who also listens to my tutorials? How about that? Anyway,
I will ban you from every server I own, which is more than you think.
I've been banned by 3 charity discords already. You can't stop me. Oh, the needle gun. Okay, so this is a Defender Robo. It's actually not as brittle as it looks. It is a kind of a Lightning Sky model flyer. But that needle gun just ruins Metal Ape if it gets a couple hits in. And it's very annoying to keep him down.
Yeah, so Lightning Skies, they're slightly more bulky than the Little Raiders. They don't get down instantly, but they don't really have very much defense.
Yep.
As opposed to ground mobility, they have really high air mobility. It's kind of their gimmick.
Yeah.
So here we're kind of, because we passed the police tournament, we won the tournament. We're being given a gauntlet of what's supposed to be 4 battles, but it's going to end up being it's going to end up being 6.
6, yes, because it's going to be the chief, and it's also going to be Linda.
Yeah, Linda wants to test us because we basically took her Robo without permission at the start of the game, and she's like, "Well, you can't eye scan, so just keep it.
You think they would with all the technology they have?
You'll be our like test pilot of this fancy new Robo, which we haven't used since day 5.
Yeah.
So she just kind of wants to test how far we've come, and battles us 1v1. So we go through this gauntlet here, and it's basically all a part of a test to try and see who is, or try and see if we are capable of what they deem an S-class license, which nobody in the public knows about because it's like military/police confidential.
S stands for secret.
S stands for secret. Z stands for secret.
Zekrit.
I'm not sorry. Anyways, the
secret license.
The secret class of license is supposedly better than the A rank, and getting this license means you get access to the most confidential information of the world, which they deem this necessary because Rahu is going around killing people and can end the world. Which, is a bad thing. We need to stop it.
Yeah, we live there.
But I live there.
So this is Linda again, but without Ernest as a partner. She's very easy to pin down, but she still can get away from you because you saw 3 Hornets took out 2 of the shields there. And she also has an acrobat bomb to help her launch herself very quickly, and she is honestly quite problematic. She's not the worst, thankfully, but
yeah, that last combo that he got there is actually what you really want to do in these fights, is to knock her away so that she's slightly airborne at the start, and then she uses her dash to just kind of fly into the corner, which you can intercept and then just unload another set of rounds. That's usually the ideal circumstance with that sort of fight.
Yeah, and here is Roy. You're going to be 1v1ing Roy. So the thing is, this is, again, kind of a really bad/good fight. He's very easy to control, but if he gets too close to you or gets a hold of you, again, the Magnum says no to your defenses sometimes, and if he gets you into the lava, there's a very high chance as well that you're just going to straight up just not be happy. And bombomb might... Oh, no, he went over the thing.
Went for the straightforward strategy.
There's a Magnum.
Sometimes if you get the enemies nearby the lava, it's actually, instead of jumping and shooting, you just fire and launch them into the lava, which will deal like 100 damage flat. It like, even if they're downed or not, like, they still take considerable amounts of damage, as opposed to when you're down, where every shot that would normally deal like 200 damage only does 50.
Yeah, the Magnum also, the farther away you are, does less downing power. So closer, like at the beginning of the match, Roy shot very close, downed. At the end of the match, shot, Bomb was far away, still took a little bit of damage, but wasn't close to being downed. That's the perk of the Magnum. But shotgun is just consistent downing. So whenever a Robo comes up, or opponent comes up with a shotgun, we basically respect them, and there's 3 instances of shotgun that are used against us and 1 with us. Harry has a hidden shotgun during the Day 9 tournament. It's really weird. He never uses it again. Which is annoying, because I would love to be able to just equip him with a shotgun and just tell him to go at it. Oh yeah, Mira. I always forget that she's a fighter. She's actually very.
This fight, like, randomly, this fight will usually be kind of easy, and like relative to where it is, and then it will just randomly sometimes just be like the death of you.
Yeah, the other one as well is the chief. The chief. Oh, there's that darn gun. The chief himself is also extremely annoying.
Yeah, that fight can go like super well or super awful.
Yeah, he'll either dance in the lava himself for some reason, like, okay, cool, I guess that's great, or he will zone you like perfectly for like a minute, and it feels bad. Or he might even actually kill you as well. He does enough damage actually with his gun and his Robo. He also uses the last metal grappler, which is the metal ox, which has a lot of iframes on its dash.
Yeah, that charge is so annoying.
Yeah,
it's slow moving, but it like has a huge area, and you'll probably get hit by it. But even if you don't, when he's charging, he's invulnerable. So
yeah, whenever you see the Robos turn red, that's their basically invulnerable phases for their charges.
If he had gotten better rolls there, he might have been able to get a bunch of lava. Oh, he got it. He got the lava combo. Nice.
Yep.
So that did like 450 as opposed to the usual 300-ish.
Yeah, so, 363 or so is the normal kind of basic like small Robo combo damage. So doing over 400, they don't have 1,000 health. You did over a third. Do that a couple more times, you win, right? And here's the problematic gun. It sits there, and it will. Thankfully, if you also down an opponent, all their gun bullets will disappear off the map.
Gun bullets.
Hi, I'm Canadian.
It's accurate. My friend who's also like Chinese Canadian says those two words all the time, and it's just it's like this shouldn't be that amusing, but it is. I don't know why.
Well,
I just love the sound of
that
gun bullets. We were playing a game with some sort of gun, and you'll talk about loading his gun bullets.
Also, all right, conga line.
Conga line. Yes, we love the conga line.
Yes, this is the longest conga line you're gonna get. So yay.
Well, shake your body, baby. Do that conga. No, we can't control yourself any longer. Anyways,
there you go. Thank you. Very important.
That is my indulgence with this run. As if we haven't been indulgent this entire time. So we have beaten all of the adversaries, and we are deemed worthy of taking the S-Class exam. The S-Class exam is a fight against a simulated version of Rahu, or Rahu 1, as this is called, because there will be Rahu 2 and Rahu 3 later.
Yeah.
This looks like a duplicate of that previous fight. I guarantee you it is not. His AI is way more evasive and way more trigger happy, and his gun has an absolutely gargantuan amount of area of effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, and starting that fight off, that recovery is impressive. Like starting off the fight by getting damage, like getting hit, is really like it can set you up to a tempo disadvantage. This is the second hardest fight of the game, and he is just flying through it. Like
yeah, no, this is unfortunately this can go extremely wrong extremely quickly as well. Yeah, because for this, we had someone who came into the community. I'm not going to name names because I don't know if they want to share that. But when they were first doing their first ever runs, they were able to do every single fight in the game. They died 7 times to this one fight.
That he took 60% of his health for it. That was a good Rahu refight.
That was yeah.
There are many occasions where even in any percent, like not even just low percent, where this fight's just ridiculous.
No, you take that.
Even in any percent, there are many such occasions where you get to that fight and like you get down to 100 HP and you're just playing super passively because you don't want to die and lose more time.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's the thing is like I think I'm one of the very few people, if not the only one, who's got a perfect on that fight before.
Yeah.
And that's over 300 attempts. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that does not happen very often at all.
Okay, so honestly, bombom's honestly at a very decent pace right now. They are on about 202 pace, which is stupid for a marathon, just for the record.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we are S licensed exam holders, the first thing we're going to do is we got a call and we're going to go visit the Chinese restaurant, which is seemingly the only restaurant in town. They're having bad luck again because, someone broke in and they're fighting Rahu. And Evil got here before us. No matter who you talk to, Harry or Marcia, it always defaults to Marcia. The laughs. Oh, we got the double laugh. We are blessed.
That's how you know the run is blessed.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the same lady that we met on day 7, but it's not actually the same lady. It's her identical twin, which is why she acts like she knows nothing here, and why despite the fact that we got the name of the other lady, she is standing here with no name on her thing. It's just woman. Her Robo is like it's like a mirror of the other ladies.
Yeah,
So the other
there's
lady
two.
is Eliza. This is Isabella.
Yeah,
Uh, Isabella's is like mirrored in that like it fires right arcing bullets as opposed to left arcing. Doesn't really make a significant difference, but it's kind of just there to show you that this isn't quite the same person.
yeah. It's a little bit of subtle knowledge to know the difference, especially if you just go check the items itself. You can always check all the information about the robos and stuff like that. It's still the same battle. It's not going to be difficult. They're very simple to take down. Only when they're together, they're extremely annoying because of the damage output.
Yeah. So kind of funny situation here is Evil like defeats Rahu and he's like trying to hand it over to the Z Syndicate. He wants to join the Z Syndicate because he was evil all along. Except that's not quite the case. He's not actually interested in joining the Z Syndicate to do evil. He's just he kind of has like a massive crush on Eliza. And then in comes Isabella, who looks exactly like Eliza. Just like, I don't remember ever having talked to you, and it just breaks Evil's heart.
It's okay with spoilers in chat. A, it's a speedrun. B, I've played this game before.
The story in this game is not particularly.
No, the comedy writing's a lot better than the story.
Yes, the comedy writing in this game is glorious.
Ooh, okay. This might be problematic for bombomb if Obaru is not. So the person in yellow has a worm gun, which is a super illegal dragon gun, and he's a strike vanisher.
Fires 4 dragons at you.
3.
Sure. Yeah, the other one is Ruhil. So these characters are Oboru, which is the kind of big guy with the eye patch and the long gray hair. The blue-haired guy is Sergei, who we confirm is actually Marsh's brother in this cutscene.
Yeah.
And he pilots Ruhil, which is a lightning strike. It is an illegal version of the lightning sky mile, which, as mentioned earlier, just has like this ridiculously long air dash. But thankfully, you knock it in the air while it's trying to run away from you. It just flies into a corner and you can just pile on. So
yeah,
very solid fight from not great beginnings.
Also, thankfully, not having to fight with Harry because Marcia joins you this battle.
Yeah, and her stuff actually is potent.
Yeah. Harry always seems to pick the wrong thing. So now that they've retreated, we still have to go to the police station, but we were just called here beforehand. Also, if you ever come back and talk to Don, the sushi place owner, he actually keeps the fish out all day to make sure he's ready for his customers. It's a very stupid line, but everyone's gonna get food poisoning when he opens up his restaurant again. So that's beside the point.
All right.
So the world is flat with a huge wall.
Yes, that is canon.
Yes.
That is one of those lines that it was really funny 15 years ago, and then in the last couple of years, it's gotten oddly topical.
Well, the thing is, even every time I've done a speedrun of this, even though I know that's the answer, I will always say the world is round with a huge wall. I for some reason mess up the first one every single time. I even think my PB VOD still has me answering it wrong.
Yeah, so those are canonically correct. The world is flat and has a huge wall around it. We are in a dome. That is basically what our characters have been taught since childhood.
Yeah. Actually, they're genetically modified to believe that. They are. Yeah, I'll explain that during the exposition dump, but that will be touched on later. But yeah, that's a thing. So the train runs beneath the Chinese restaurant, which is why there's earthquakes happening there. So he's just having the worst time possible.
I feel bad for Don.
Actually, my split literally says Don's bad luck is the split name.
The man does one thing wrong and then he just endures weeks of punishment on it.
Yeah. Well, it's less than 2 weeks. It's only 12 days. Oh, so this is actually an auto scroller. You can actually take your hands off here. I showed this off at our break. This actually you have to hold up. And the second time you hear as well, same thing. So it's this is one of the few times you can stretch your fingers or whatever and crack your knuckles because you've been mashing now for an hour and a half straight.
Yeah, nice thing is A and B both confirm, so you can do a left hand, right hand kind of mash. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I love how everyone just raises their arms in surprise.
Oh, you also can see the world's lightning beneath the actual map there. They zoom back too far.
Yeah, so basically Rahu blew up most of the world. That's why we're trying to stop him. It's like the stakes just kind of like just absolutely shoot upwards. So we're coming up on day 12.
Which is, if you look at the estimate,
yeah, that's like we're not even an hour and a half into a run that is
roughly
even
2 and a bit hours.
2 hours long. Yeah, the final day takes up a quarter of the game.
Yeah. And rightfully so. Like it is having played now V1 and V2, that is a series staple.
Yep. Cram everything at the end.
Yeah. So like V2 is like I think 30 or no, it was like 63 battles or something in the final dungeon alone or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like half of the game.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the point where we learn that Ernest is the best character. Like,
yeah,
for real. He basically says he gets a call from the police on a mission, and he just straight up says, "I want you to refuse. I can't force you to, but like I know you guys can't tell me what's going on, but we know that you're doing something extremely serious and extremely dangerous, and I don't want to lose you guys." And so you find out he's like an actually good boss.
They also paid him up front too. He actually is trying to refuse the money by making you guys not go. This is also the opportunity.
Sergey, that scum.
Yeah. There's also, if you say no 20 times there, that is the bad ending.
Yes, I recommend looking the bad ending up on like
it was showed off on RPG Limit Break.
Yeah, we showed up in Limit Break. You can check out any bad ending run on the leaderboard. But yeah, so this game says, will you go take on the final dungeon and the final gauntlet? Also, everyone high fives the hand painting. I don't know why. Especially because we're wearing like fingerless gloves.
Hopefully people wash their hands.
I hope so. It is a bathroom.
Also, world's most sensitive door. If you go to the toilet, like if you actually walk back, the door opens. Again, there's earthquakes at the Chinese restaurant again.
Poor man can't catch a break.
Also, this is a post-apocalyptic world. Yep. Humanity's been reduced to this dome, and they still have a Chinese restaurant, which is the dominant thing in this entire.
I mean, they're open even on Christmas. They close for nobody.
Yeah. Again, for those in chat, we do have. If you go to the SRC page, there's a Discord link you can find if you want to join.
We're a very welcoming community to new people. Yes. We want more people to love Robo Battles the way we do.
Yeah, and if you want to learn the game, ask questions. I have no problem staying on call with people and guiding you through stuff. Most of us don't. We all just enjoy watching people play this game. And I plan to eventually come back to this game in the near future. I've had too many projects going on it right now, but I'm almost done.
So I'm actually seeing this in the Japanese version. The Z Syndicate is called the Zex Syndicate, or ZX.
Yes.
So I imagine they were trying to not interfere with Mega Man ZX, because that's what it's actually called in Japanese, Mega Man X. Which sounds dirty, it's not. Anyways, so yeah, we're so if you answer no to the will you go to the end, you would think that it's like, you know, a but thou must, but you can say no 20 times. The text is hilarious. All right, yeah. So now we're storming the Z/Z/Zex Syndicate.
So this one fight,
I had never lost to this fight until I got to my run at RPG Limit Break.
Yeah, it's this exact same weapon and bomb layout we have. They had the center bomb S and 3-way gun, and it makes a difference where you're versing basically our speedrun strats, but obviously they're not doing it the same way we're doing. But they can stall you for a long period of time if they manage to hit you with one or the other. And also, you know, still strike faster, still hard to pin down. Bomb's doing a wonderful job of keeping it within range.
Still hoping it'd knock him into the lava and just save a bunch of time. Yeah, no, like he was almost having a perfect fight there, so that was very good.
Spider Pod's wonderful. My favorite pod is actually the Sky Freeze pods, because I'm a jerk.
You use the chicken heart with the knuckle gun, Shawnee. We know you're a jerk.
I loved when you guys figured out what I was playing my build at the RPG break. Like, oh no, Magnum with Metal Bear and Chicken Heart Knuckle Gun.
Yeah, so this is Shiner. Yet again, I love with the dialogue here is he just kind of catches you while walking through the facility. He's like, oh crud, there's three guys and only one of me, and so he's like, I have to think of some way to even the odds here. And then he's like, haha, you're back for your rematch.
Yep.
And it's like that's the like genius plan. He gets to 1v1 you instead of like 3v3ing.
Yeah, and also if you were to, or he says after the match, he's like, I should have just challenged Harry instead. So like,
It's so good.
oh, 4 HP. Oh, okay, good.
He got the save.
Yeah. Yeah, no, anything with a T brand on it, like straight bomb T or caboose T, when it hits, it will drag the enemy towards you. So like the Magnum and straight bomb T that Roy has is extremely strong. Also, here's where they teach you about pushing A and B at the exact same time to do the aerial ground shots. Also, you can walk around the table. This is found by Fire, another runner. Because yeah, Fidre, yeah. Again, wonderful. Everyone in the customer community is wonderful.
Yeah, we're shouting out a lot of people, but you know these are some of the like OGs like Fire, FIJRE, Drac, and Pokehero were kind of like the progenitors of this community in a way.
Yeah.
There had been runs before, but the thing that kind of really pushed this community to grow was back in 2016. A few of us found the three of them doing a low percent race of this game just on Twitch and thought this was cool, and you know, maybe I should learn this game. That was me. I should learn this game because it seemed like a really simple game to run. This is a game that, you know, I played a lot as a kid and I have very fond memories of, as is common for speed games.
Yep, and eventually I did a quote-unquote casual stream of this game and then realized I just beat in 2 sittings. I'm like, I should be able to beat it in 1. So then I tried to do like basically like a speedrun with no guides, and then the community found me. It's kind of funny.
I wish we didn't. No, just kidding. We like we like Shawnee as much as we pretend we don't.
As much as we pretend we don't. Yay. But also, this is the worst fight in the game for me. Yeah. You're fighting on 2 separate conveyor belts going separate paths. There's little spinny things in the middle that shove you everywhere. You tend to use the long thrust legs, so your air dashes might go too far. This guy has a needle gun, which will drag you into the actual lava like that. And this is the battle where I dunked him 5 times in a row. So I have to replicate everything gone horribly wrong in a horribly RNG map. And it looks like bombom's having my normal luck in this fight, truthfully.
Yeah, this is like the only. Oh, you haven't got the double charge. It's like I think only the second fight in this run he's really, you know, struggled with.
Yeah,
he's able to get it cleared successfully. So Mira just gets exhausted and then loses. So we have to pick up the slack from her fight, and so she's kind of taken out at this point.
Yeah,
because losing a Robo battle causes immense shock to your systems. So Harry's going to look for a first aid kit to help out with Mira, and then this guy just appears out of the shower. We jokingly call him Underpants Man.
We respect Underpants Man.
We respect Underpants Man. My personal splits for this game, I had a split for every single fight, and then the Z Syndicate characters I just call Z Scrub 1, Z Scrub 2, Z Scrub 3. I get to Underpants Man, he does not count amongst the scrubs.
Nope.
Like
there's reasons for that.
He has a shotgun.
Yep.
And a very bulky model, which means it's very difficult to down him.
Yeah, there we go. There's the damage.
So yeah, he just unloads damage. Like, you get a couple shots. If they're not point blank, then you're in trouble. If you miss your standard bombs, like, you're in trouble.
Yeah, this is exactly why we respect. Oh, boom, the lava. So this is why we respect this fight. You want to take your time. You always want to lead with the Standard Bomb S to stun him because he has just enough bulk not to be downed by a 3-way gun. But the Standard Bomb S first and then the close range 3-way gun shot does down him. And that's a nice recovery from Bomb. But you see how he lost 750 health there just magically.
Yeah, he also just fought the fight like from a distance at that last end, which is much slower, but you don't want to get in Metal Ox's face.
Oh, so he doesn't have underpants on in the Japanese version. He has a sauna towel. He actually has little heart underpants in the English version, though, which is why we call him Underpants Man.
What is that? A fudoshi, I think is what it's called.
I have no idea. Oh, so this is the nicest fight because it is the most relaxing. Okay, I could beat up a small robo or shove him in the lava now for funsies. Like you just shove him in the lava constantly. He does more damage because he's a little raider. He'll get down in the hits, but you can just use a 3-gun shot and then just keep downing him constantly. And if he's near lava, just shove him in the lava for some free damage. After all the 3 metal grapplers, nice and relaxing.
Perfect.
Yeah. He's honestly one of my favorites. And then this person, not the worst, not the best. Also, there's some hidden parts, technically in new game or in a grand battle. If you go into this room and find them here, I still believe they're there, but they actually purposely put stuff to block off interactable areas. So if we found a way to clip through certain areas, we might be able to get parts for the any percent slash grand battle run early. But again, we have a glitchless run, not by choice. I would love to see
category. I vote we category split for Harry clip.
Also, I love when they die in the lava because you can hear being quiet. I love that thud. I absolutely love that thud afterwards.
Also, it's just funny seeing the word "lose" just fly up the screen. So, yeah, that was a really good fight there. Like, he only took damage once and got like 3 lava hits.
Here's my worst teammate fights because now it's a 2v1. Haha! Oh wait, no, Roy's here. Darn it. So Roy is honestly worse than Harry to me because he has a Magnum, and every time I am at this area on a really good pace, he decides to hide behind a wall constantly, and he doesn't do anything, or he shoots a bomb into himself. So I don't really have high hopes for Roy in general. And you have him for 2 fights, and the second one is a shotgun. Not Roy, the opponent. We'll see here. Roy will hopefully approach the enemy at some point. He's jumping behind walls again. Oh, we got 1 shot. There we go. Okay, he's actually doing damage here. That's actually pretty decent. That's pretty clean.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, Roy had 0 damage though. And this is the next fight. You want to focus on the yellow one. I want to say the green guy or the green opponent has a bubble gun or something, whatever. The yellow guy has a shotgun. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't feel like a threatening match, but if you don't pay attention to who has a shotgun and you get randomly downed for a lot of damage, that's problematic. He's actually quite quick as well. So hopefully bombomb can also keep track of the shotgun and deal with him.
He got really unlucky on that starting cube. Yeah, Custom Robo Battle Revolution or Custom Robo NA. It's the only one with this system where you have a full completely adjustable starting block. Normally, every other Robo game, except maybe GX, I don't remember how GX does it. When you fire out of your cube launcher, your Robo launches, and it's like, depending on the side, is like where your Robo's like starts up. Like you can land on its head, on its side, on its back, on its stomach, or on its feet. On its feet is the quickest to get out and actually be able to do stuff. On its head, you have to just like wiggle the control stick and mash buttons a lot more.
Chest is simple. He does a push up and gets up. Back, he sits up, whatever. Arms, pulls his arms out of the ground one way or another. So like going back and playing those games after playing this one, very confusing. I still don't know how those cube launchers work in the other games.
I'm pretty sure they're still like mostly random compared to this one.
I think when you start landing, you can use a control stick and tilt it to a different angle. I'm not sure though. But we are getting on to Old Man Beatdown, our favorite meme fight. First, we're going to be
I am amazed that there's even the ability to lose this fight.
Yeah, so Roy's going to be a hero and hold back 3 people at once by putting them to sleep from boredom, because he's going to hide behind a wall and shoot with a bomb. Shout out to Team Rocket, or Rahu, I guess, if it's R, whichever. It's a giant red R. Come on.
That's a pair of X's. It's supposed to be XRX.
Ah, there you go. They have no idea what they're doing for logos.
I think those are DNA strands or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is meant to be like the 2v2 to get access to Rahu. Except
wait. There's a lot of liquid down there, actually.
Get wrecked, Boro.
Yeah.
So Sergey reveals his master plan. He infiltrated the Z Syndicate all along to try and get access to Rahu, because Rahu is way too dangerous.
Yeah, and here's the problem. Or here's the fun thing we do. We try to get a triple perfect. This fight is so easy that you have a potential to have all 3 of your characters not take a single point of damage by the time you kill or Boro. So it's a little meme thing of like, can you get a triple perfect or not, or at least one or 2. Oh, thank you. I think that was a Boro that shot the bomb there. We have only 1 perfect so far again. Oh wow. Oh no, we have no perfects at all. But yeah, this is basically a 3v1 and very unfair, because Oboro has a Robo that actually has limit, or I want to say 75% defense or something. So he goes down pretty quickly when he's cornered. Although the other ones are shooting bombs and really, really getting in the way of actually trying to do damage.
Yeah, that was not a great fight in terms of time, but this fight is virtually unlosable. Like, you have to literally surrender to this fight to find out if... I actually surrendered in this fight one time just to figure out, like, is there a, like...
programmed loss?
Is there a programmed victory quote? Like, and there is, actually, where Oboro just, scoffs at Sergey for his insolence.
I guess we should explain as well. The way it works when it comes to losing is all you do is you basically have a small little cutscene, loads back in, you go back into battle and start again. There's really not much of a time loss to losing a battle. The time loss is based off how much you invest in that battle before choosing to forfeit, because forfeiting skips out the death scene, which takes a little bit more time. So this fight in particular as well, this is Rahu Evolved, this is Rahu 2. He has no down frames.
Yeah, well, it has like 30. Like, you can get a little bit of damage, but like if you down them, you like the lag between your current animation and your next one is just too much. You probably won't get any damage in.
Yeah, so it's only really damage from him being up and around. So
this fight's more just annoying than anything else, because he runs. He has a super high jump and he just flies around. Like,
yeah, if you get a good time on this one, like, be happy, but just expect an average fight if you ever do a run.
Yeah, and the thing that sucks is like the difference between a good fight and like an okay fight is like 30 seconds. Yeah, he got a really solid Rahu 2 fight there.
Yeah.
You're not likely to lose that one. He just doesn't do enough damage, and it's a 2v1. But yeah. The other thing, I don't know if we've mentioned this. In any multi-fight, which 3v1, 2v1, 2v2, if the player dies, the fight is over.
Doesn't matter if your opponents have 1,000 health,
and your
allies have 1,000 health.
Yeah. All right, time for text matching to the extreme.
You want me to explain the story?
This is the 300 text boxes of death.
432. So what it starts off is you're hearing a recording of your father that's left behind to have Sergey played when you meet him here. They're talking about how the watch is the second component to making sure that you can erase the presence of Rahu, which inhabited a child's toy, which is why the police decided to take them up as their actual way of enforcing things. There's that. They're also talking about how everyone in the world has been brainwashed by genetically being modified at birth to believe that they live in a dome. Because of that, some children, Marcia, has side effects where they can do half dives, and they also get hypersensitivity to emotions. And because of that, Sergei is going to be, quote unquote, watching out for her entire life from a distance, basically causing her emotional scars.
Bad brother, sorry.
Exactly. So basically, what they're going to do is they're going to agree that they are going to combine the two components by giving Sergei the watch so they can erase the presence of Rahu 3 from the world because it is taken in a form into a custom robo.
Yeah,
that
so
is
Rahu
the
was
entire
basically
432 text boxes, which suck to mash through.
Yeah, so Rahu basically was a spirit that, like, by a sheer stroke of luck, possessed a child's toy, which allows them to deal with it. The main character has a memory erasing device in his watch, which is why we cannot give this to anybody, because if it falls into the wrong hands, that is bad. That is why the Z Syndicate broke into the lab, was they were looking for this watch.
Yeah,
But
they're
of course they
trying to
couldn't find
find any evidence of it, but thankfully Dad took the only car out of town.
it.
No, seriously, there is no cars. If you walk around everywhere, there's only trucks on the laboratory. And as Jack pointed out, why is there fishing piers when their world is a dome?
Yeah, so the memory erasing device is meant to be this thing that is used to slow the growth of Rahu. Now, Rahu can, like, get stronger and stronger, and it's why each new form is like an evolution. The final form that we fight is going to be at the end of this final area, and yeah, we need to use the memory erasure device to stop it from growing, and then deal with it by defeating it in battle once and for all. So the final dungeon of this game is not what you would conventionally expect for a type of final dungeon. Rather than being some big castle or some big, facility, it's actually a rundown amusement park.
Yep, which has an evil clown at the entrance, which is amazing.
Like, I just love this. I kind of love this, like, set piece. Like, this place of fun, but it's just like reduced to rubble and decay, and then just there's no sky.
Okay. Also, this is a bunch of 1v1s across the board.
First a 1v1, then a 2v2.
Yep. And we're going to get paired up with Mira, which one of our other runners, Delphi, pointed out. Mira's one of the worst partners possible.
Yeah, it's a good thing she's only doubles with you, like,
once. Just once.
Once, yeah. I'm thinking of Grand Battle.
Yeah. And so this one's not that bad. It's metal ox. You can just kind of do damage and do normal strats, AO ground, stuff like that. There's the charge. All that red is iframes, and it's really hard. Ooh. That is the afterburner gun. It loves to shove you around. If you use an air, it draws you forward like that. Thank you for bringing the PowerPoint to the presentation, Metal Ox. We don't want that, though. Please. And you can see an exchange of hits there. Both have iframes, therefore both of them don't take damage. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Thankfully, Pod did come in handy there. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it doesn't disappear when you get overloaded by taking too much damage and being downed. So now we're going to have a 2v2. Mira pushes enemies away with her gun. You want to be as close to enemies as possible. These do not mesh. As well as Mira doesn't do a lot of damage and tends to miss quite a bit as well. And once we took and evaluated this fight, we're like, oh, Delphi's right. It's like Mira's like the worst partner. Or one of. It's debatable. I think Roy's still the worst. People dislike Harry. People dislike the AI. No one complains about Marcia, at least. I think that's universal.
She has probably the most consistently good AI. Although she has screwed me a couple of fights.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're gonna have here. This is actually kind of an annoying fight too. I can't remember which one's which, but I know one of them can push you around. I think one has, one has an eagle gun, and I think the other one has a bubble gun or something. The yellow one's the easier one to kill. The green one downs very, very quickly as well. So you can. Oh. Yeah, here you can see Mira just shoving him to the other side of the map. Honestly, it looks like a nice clean fight still. Oh, there you go. Just out of range. There we go. Yeah, Marcia's AI is pretty good. Like he who has Harry not killed a run with cast the first stone. Harry has cost so many runs to so many people. Doesn't matter what category it is, it sucks.
Harry has literally killed a man. Alrighty, time for bathroom skip. We don't have glitches or tricks in this game, so we kind of call everything a skip in this game.
Yeah.
If you go into the bathroom with Harry, there are 2 or 3 fights. Is it 2 or is it 2 or 3? Yeah. So you get this like lengthy cutscene here where like Harry just deals with all of them himself, but it's much faster than doing the fights.
Yeah, you have to have a 1v1 and a 2v2. You fight 1 people in the urinals and 2 people in the toilets. You fight on the smallest arena in the game, which is actually the original end boss or end fight arena of Custom Robo V1. And they have
like reskin to be like a bathroom.
Yeah, but it's also they have a bubble gun, which is a very stally gun. It is horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. And you don't like all you have to do is mash B to get through that section. You can say no to Harry 5 times. You skip all that, which is honestly the preferable thing.
Yep, so we're coming up on the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights of the run.
Yep, it comes in quick.
Nice and easy. This one's nice and easy because it's a seal head. But this is actually like coming up is going to be one of the very few parts in the run which we have experienced a significant route change over the course of the years. Back in the day, there's what's coming up soon is a maze, and it's one of the only places that has like non-straightforward, like it's not like, you know, deterministic pattern of encounters. There's like a maze and like enemies will jump out of the floor and fight you. There's different ways through the maze that you can do where you can fight everyone, or there's actually a way you can do where after the first fight of the arena, of the maze, which is fixed, you can skip all of them. It's a very weird path and not intuitive, but we used to do 2 fights in the maze. Now we do 0.
Yep. That's found by Razor, I believe.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people, I mean, I guess we could really shout out. I mean, obviously, Shawnee, myself have contributed to this. We mentioned Drac, we mentioned Fire and Poke Hero.
Delphi.
I believe Delphi came up with like a small optimization here or there. The OG was Crystal Chaos, like the first kind of like serious like record holder who held the position for a while.
6 was their time.
Yep. Stingray, who ran on emulator but also had a very competitive time relative to emulator. Rio, or Riz as we used to call him.
Yep. He helped optimize Grand Battle immensely.
Yes. And also just like he had a really like solid record like for a long time as well. It was just a very good runner who helped push this game for a while. It gave Shawnee a pretty hefty amount of competition.
Yeah, once I got past 20606, Rio just said nope. Like,
not the biggest fan of New Journey's like Metal Ape.
Yeah. But yeah, I see in chat.
Also pushed a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I see in chat, Sasha. Yeah, we have a Discord again, just to plug that. If you look up on SRC Custom Robo Battle Revolution. We have a Discord that if anyone wants to join, they're welcome to learn or even just enjoy the game. We'll post when people go live. Bombomb the most active runner right now. We also do random parts races, but this is the maze route, as Ghost mentioned. Yeah, you can avoid all of them.
It looks like it's taking the long way around, but it avoids every like trigger fight in the maze, which is really nice.
Also, the one thing which should be mentioned as well, this game has again, silly sense of humor. There is one person who has a larger model. If you beat her, the controller vibrates when she falls. That's the kind of thought process and programming we went into this game, but we can't break this game because this game apparently has no glitches in it. It's very annoying.
I have asked people I know who.
Well, there's a bounty out.
Yeah, we have a bounty for anyone who can find like a useful like time save. I'm pretty sure I still have like I will pay $50 to somebody who can find something that saves over a minute.
Yeah, it is. We literally do not have any. So again, this is like one of those nicest fights if done correctly. You just wait for him to jump. Oh, he didn't jump the right way. But it's a pure ice stage, so you want to stay near them, and you don't want to avoid.
Perfect.
The the tank head, dower head, and seal kid kind of thing. They're just great to kill. They feel just fun. And here's where we're getting into the last two fights of the game. And this is both of them are run enders. It's great.
Especially the one after this.
Oh yeah, we'll get that one in a sec.
We'll get into that one.
Thankfully, we want to be quiet during that time because I'm pretty sure Bomb will have quiet time on his side to focus on it. But since we're restreamers, we don't have to worry about
it. Yeah, that is the if somebody is in call with you while you're doing marathon run for this game, you shut up and you let them focus.
Yeah. It could go wrong very quickly. And this fight in particular, I do know Mechacthulhu. This is their least favorite fight, just because we fought them before. It shows the cutscenes off, like, you know, once at the lab, we met Eliza, and at the restaurant, we found Isabella. But like, oh, they're twins. They also beat Sergei. Sergei's unconscious in the other room. Let's not mention that one too much to Marcia. That's how she got punched in the face while trying to do a custom Robo battle, I guess.
I think it's not determined whether or not the twin like actually ignored her like, you know, request for a fight, or if she just got owned really quickly because she wasn't focusing.
I don't know. Marcia can wake up and just like steel chair them and save everyone.
All right, so it's a 2v2 fight against the twins. It's quite an annoying fight.
Yeah.
Really quick, since we were plugging this game, we do allow turbo, by the way. We've mentioned how much text there is in this game and how much mashing there is. We do allow turbo on our leaderboards for text mashing.
Yeah, just specify what you use, and that's all we ask, because we want things to be replicatable. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, don't harm your wrists to play this game if you can.
Yeah, Shawnee once did 3 runs in a day, and I think you said your wrists were in pain for the next few days.
Oh, no. When I was grinding sub 2, I was doing 4 runs a day for 3 weeks. Yeah. There's reasons why I had to take a break for a while. Also, this fight's gone super cleanly.
That charge to finish was cash money.
Yeah, it does a good chunk of damage, and you can position yourself, and it does launch the opponent Robo just enough that you can do a neutral air dash to the opponent. But this is probably the cleanest twin fight I've seen in a very long time. So close to finishing under 2 hours.
Harry. Come on, Harry. It's one job.
Yeah.
All right, so it's probably going to be a 202 or 203 here.
It takes a long time to beat Rahu 3.
Yeah, so we're coming up on Rahu 3, the final boss of the game. His final fully evolved form is completely maxed out stats. So we do a 3v1 in this fight with Marcia and Harry, and
you're at a disadvantage.
You're at a disadvantage. If he gets down, which basically you need to do an absurd amount of damage or charge him to down him, and he has 1 frame of down before he hits rebirth. Like your shots do like 1/5 normal damage to him. All of his stuff is AoE. His pods just roam around the field and do a bunch. So for the plot, we are going to activate the watch, which is going to cause the memory erasure device, which is going to stop Rahu from growing any further, and he does not really like that, so he's going to come after us. And we're going to try and push him back with our Robos. And this is the final boss. Very difficult fight.
So just as a thing,
if he hits you point blank with his gun, it can do up to 300 damage.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Just as a thing, follow Bomb as a runner. He is an amazing person as well as amazing speedrunner, and he is just an absolute joy. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, so that's twitch.tv. He does stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/bombomb, as seen on there _hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs several of the custom Robo games, but this one he's been really challenging, partially because he got it into RTA in Japan. So the big thing you want to look out for with Rahu 3 is whether or not he's pointing at you or one of your allies. If he's pointing at one of your allies, sometimes you can just get right next to him and just like keep shooting at him over and over and over and over and again, and that just does a lot of damage. But if he ever aims at you, you are in trouble. In fact, Bomb's in a really bad position right now and might have to retry this.
Yeah, because honestly, it's like 2 shots and he's dead. Oh, sorry, 2 full shots, I should say, not just 2 shots. Because you see that giant spread of a green, that actually focuses, it goes across the entire arena. There's no stopping that unless you're behind the pillar. And you see here, Rahu's saying no, and sometimes you got to respect that. So honestly, Bombomb should possibly consider quitting soon, so you can just save a couple seconds worth of the game over screen. Because also, the other scary thing about this fight is if your partners go down, that's one less target Rahu can be distracted by. Bombomb! I'm so sorry. And then, look, they can still continue, but the hero died. I guess we'll just bleh.
Everyone dies.
Marcia just crouches.
I don't want to give her like a falling over animation, but yeah. So you just
she's wearing heels, man. Like,
I don't understand her outfit.
She has bubble blowers on her boots. There's little gold rings that look like bubble blowers to me.
Yeah, we jokingly call her Miku. I asked if that was a thing in the Japanese run, and Bombomb said it wasn't, but I'm like, it should be.
Actually, fun fact, Marcia came out before Miku, Hizane Miku or whatever.
Hatsune Miku,
yeah. So
this game predates that, so we're like, so we joke that Hatsune Miku ripped off character designs from this like kind of obscure Nintendo game from like 2004.
Oh, what a horrible start! Already getting targeted.
Yeah, so your allies, one of your allies, Harry or Marcia, I don't remember, has the Sword Storm gun, which fires several swords that they float in the air, and they're not very good against mobile targets. But if you can keep Rahu like in place, they do quite a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So in this fight, you use Metal Ape's charge a lot, and the reason for that is you get a lot of invulnerability frames during your charge. If Rahu's right next to you and pointed at you, he presses the B button, you lose a third of your health. Like, you want to charge into him, and it tends to cause his AI to like change targets, which is what you want. This fight is not going well.
No.
Marcia is like down to like 70 health.
Actually, no. They messed up the colors for Marcia and Harry. Marcia actually is green, while Harry, who has the green Robo, is actually the blue icon. It always bugged me. You can see here. Oh, jeez. Rahu 3 is just staring down Bombomb there. Not shooting, just menacingly walking towards him. Yep, there goes one target. Yeah, that's the right decision to make, because honestly, Harry is about to go down immediately right after, and oh, Bombomb, don't feel bad.
This happens to the best of us.
Oh, yeah, no, like, you will have the exact same thing happen versus the twin fight, or some random fight, or the Rahu 1 refight, or the weird yellow buggy for some reason on day 2. Like, there is fights all over this game. Like, this entire game is not free. It is only optimization for a speedrun. And of all things we figured out, this is not ideal. And the one thing, I don't know if he will do it or not, if he were to forfeit a few more times, he could reduce... actually, did he reduce the HP down?
I think. Yeah, he started off at 750.
750. So yeah, he did reduce it down. If he were to forfeit 3 more times, he'd reduce it down to 250.
Yeah, this is a Japanese version exclusive thing because
we can't do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, we can't do it on the North American version because North Americans are hardcore.
Yeah, that, or they found it to be too cheap and just removed it. Yeah, that damage. Oh, that damage. Oh, so the problem is...
The charge isn't even the worst thing to be hit by.
No. The thing is, you also want to be able to, like Go said, keep them in place by doing... You're basically little pellet shots. You're not doing the damage. You're keeping them still for your allies. And if your allies don't target them properly, then they're just worthless. And Harry just took a huge chunk of...
Your full round of shots does, like all 9 of them combined does, like, maybe 40.
And just to put in perspective, if you get like a sub 215 time, that's an extremely impressive time. The fact he submitted to RTA in Japan with a 210 is amazing. Also, GG.
GG, yeah. He might have been able to do it still at full health, but, you know.
Take what you can get.
That's just how it goes. Take what you can get. 207.22. I think that beats my PB by like a couple seconds. No, yeah, he literally beat my PB by 1 second. So that was splendid.
That was amazing. Good job, Bomb. And let me check the leaderboard because I have that open right now.
Oh, it placed him in 7th.
20720. Yep, by 1 second. Yep.
Yasha! I know Bomb was asking everyone to do it. So.
I'm seeing the RTA Japan chat just explode with support for him. I love it.
Everyone in chat is just spamming Yasha, which is what the text on screen says.
But yeah, I do want to shout out Bomb in the community. If anyone ever wants to learn the game, please hit us up in the Discord. Obviously, I'm Shawnee7188. You can just contact me wherever. I'll be more than happy to help. I'm sure everyone else in the Discord as well is the same.
We're a bunch of memers. That's how we are. But we are.
Oh, we all love Robo battles.
We all love Robo battles. Historically, we just get historically not as much in recent years because there hasn't been as many runners. But when historically, whenever somebody gets in a run, if they hop on the call, the entire squad is there.
Yeah, there was like 13 people at peak.
At one point, we had 13 people in a call to celebrate somebody's first run.
I think that was like someone called High Quality Trash. It was very confusing for them.
Oh, that was great.
I know M-Toms had like 7 people in their first run.
Yeah, mine was I think like 3 or 4, and that was like when the community wasn't 30 people.
It looks like they're wrapping up, so thank you from us as well, and again, GG to Bomb and his commentator.
Thanks y'all. I guess thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting the restream. Hope that we were able to inform you about this game that we love and entertain in the process. Believe next is going to be the Dragon Quest block. I won't be a part of that, but I am. I'm
going to be watching it very closely though.
Yeah, I believe we have Hactical and Countess, who are both fantastic Dragon Quest runners. I'll be doing Dragon Quest Monsters, which is the remake of the first one, I believe.
I want to say
Dragon Quest Swords, which is on the Wii. I'm actually curious about that one. That one used to be 4 hours, which is weird.
Yeah. Anyway, this could be a great marathon. Keep watching, everyone.
Yep, I will be back on December 30th, at midnight, for part of the puzzle game block. I believe that'll do it for Shawnee. But thanks for being my co-commentator.
Absolutely, usual. Always happy to help and always happy to support the community. So, bye everyone.
Bye bye.